morning I'm getting ready to go to work. It's about 32, 33 degrees outside. So I'm going to show you guys some things that I do to make riding in cold weather a little more comfortable while I'm packing my stuff and getting ready to head to work this morning. So, first thing, you can see I've got a hoodie on. My leather jacket is great for breaking the wind, but it doesn't add a lot of warmth. So the hoodie, yeah, it takes up a little bit of space, but it does add an extra layer of insulation. These nice windproof riding gloves. They're good in cool weather, down to say 40 degrees. Below 40 degrees, they're all right until you wear them in the morning and your hands start to sweat in them a little bit. By the time you come home in the evening from work, or you continue on, your hands start getting cold. So I have a set of these wool, they're just wool military glove liners. You can find these online cheap. I bought a pack of like 10 of them for $12, $14. They're inexpensive, but they work great. As far as my head goes, I wear a modular helmet, which you'll see here in a minute, and because of that, my head actually stays fairly warm. Pretty well close the vents down unless I need to defog the visor. My head stays warm. I don't have to worry about that at all. My neck generally doesn't bother me too bad, but I do have a full fairing and a windshield, so that does make a difference. If I didn't, I definitely have to have some sort of a balaclava or something to cover my neck, keep the wind off. As far as my legs go, I do have a set of chaps. I probably am not going to wear them this morning, because generally I'm fine in this kind of weather. But I've got to stop for gas, so it's only about 4 miles to the gas station. If I start getting chilly while I'm filling the bike up, I'll grab them out, throw them on, and I'll be fine. Now, I always carry my rain gear on the bike. I know it sounds crazy, but even in cold weather, rain gear is not going to keep you warm. Your rain gear will add an extra layer of wind protection, and that can help out immensely if it starts getting really chilly outside, or if it starts getting breezy. You can throw your rain gear on. Mine I can wear over my leathers, so I can throw my rain gear on over my leathers and add that extra layer of wind protection. It's not really thick, so it's not going to add much insulation, but it will help to hold some of the heat in as well. Those are just some of the things that I do. Though generally, if it gets below 25 degrees, I'm probably not going to be riding, because really, I'm just riding back and forth to work during the winter. I'm not generally going out on trips when it's cold outside. So if I was doing that, I'd change it up a little bit. They do have heated gloves, whether they're battery powered or they plug into the bike. It all depends on what you want. Do your research there. I'm not up on all of them, but they've got heated jackets. Everybody's making heated jackets. They have heated riding gear, really. Full pants, jackets, the whole 9 yards. You can plug them into your bike, which is wonderful. I haven't tried any of it, but as long as it works like they say it should, it'd be great. But generally, during the winter time, I'm not going to go out for a ride if it's really cold outside. Let's be honest, I do like my nicer days. Now, if I was on a trip where it might get cold, I would plan accordingly. That would be a little bit different story. So, I hope this helps some of you guys out. I was just trying to show you some of the things that I do. I do keep the sock hat in the bike so that if it gets really chilly, generally I can slide it on underneath my helmet, give me an extra layer, or I can pull my hood on my hoodie up, put it underneath this helmet. It's not going to catch much wind under there. Maybe a little bit around the neck, but nothing horrible. And the nice thing about a modular helmet, I do have my coffee in the cup holder, so if I start getting a little chilly on the inside, I can flip the visor up a little bit, take a couple sips of coffee, and warm myself back up. So anyway, guys, I hope that helps you. I'm going to get going to work this morning. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share the video. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them. We'll see you on the next one, guys. A quick tip I don't want to forget, when you're riding in cold weather, always remember to check your tire pressures in the morning, because temperature changes can change the pressure inside your tires anywhere from 1 to 3 psi or more, depending on the size of the tire. And that doesn't sound like much in a car, but 1 to 3 psi in a motorcycle tire can truly change how the bike handles. So always remember to check your tire pressures on a daily basis in colder weather. Alright guys, here's a few bonus tips for you. First one, make sure that when you get ready to leave, the last thing you do before you go out and get on the bike is put your socks and your boots on, and then go directly out and get on the bike. If you wander around the house in your socks, there's a good chance your feet will start sweating a little bit, and your feet will get cold quicker. Second, take an extra dry pair of clean socks with you. That way, if your feet do start getting cold, stop, change your socks. Believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, even if you stop on the side of the road and have to pull your feet out of your boots in the cold weather, your feet will actually warm up with clean, dry socks on. Second tip, I don't have a pair here handy to show you, but get yourself a couple pairs of latex medical gloves, or you can get the rubber cleaning gloves that you can buy at any Walmart or any home store, and wear them underneath the gloves you have on. Believe it or not, even a pair of latex medical gloves will keep your hands immensely warmer. I don't know the science behind it, but I know from years of experience it does work. The only thing I can tell you though for certain is if you take those medical gloves off for any reason, do not put the same ones back on, because your hands will sweat inside of them. Once you take them off and they're wet inside and you put them back on, your hands will get cold instantly. Never fails. So make sure you have a couple pairs. That way you can turn them inside out, let the last pair dry out, put a dry pair on. Works great. Third thing, don't expect, if you are not used to cold weather, to be able to go out and ride long distances in the cold weather. No matter what you wear, no matter how much you put on, you're probably going to get cold. You have to acclimate to the cold weather. So start with some shorter trips. If you have heated gear, that will abate the acclimation process a bit. I don't wear any heated gear, but I've spent years working outside in the cold. And I can tell you from experience, I lived for almost 2 years in Florida. The most miserable I have ever been in my life were the first 2 winters that I was back in Missouri after living in Florida. I was working outside, it was cold, I was freezing to death. But it took me a little bit of time. I was able to acclimate to it, and now the cold doesn't bother me. I wander around in 30-degree weather with just a sweatshirt on and I'm fine. But just keep in mind, it's going to take some build-up. It's going to take some being out in the cold, getting used to the cold weather, and then you'll be able to go longer distances in the cold without getting cold. As far as boots go, I didn't cover this earlier, but there's no end-all, be-all for boots. Believe it or not, when I'm riding, even this time of year, I'm still wearing just my regular old pull-on Ariat work boots that I wear the rest of the year. They have steel toes. There's no insulation in them other than a liner, nothing special about them. But my feet don't get cold at all in a 25-mile trip back and forth to work every day. Doesn't bother me a bit. If I was going a little bit longer distances, I might want to go for a pair of wool socks, or maybe a different pair of a little bit warmer boots, which I do have some insulated boots. But the only downside to insulated boots is your feet are going to tend to start sweating faster in insulated boots, and then they're going to get colder. So I just wear my normal boots, and they do just fine. Guys, I hope those tips help you out. I hope you're able to extend your riding season just a little bit more. Don't know where you live, but hopefully everybody can get out and safely enjoy it. Stay warm. Hope these help you. Like I said before, please comment, rate, subscribe, share the videos. Hopefully I'll see you out there on the road.